From Town Hall in New York City, by special transcription, the Coca-Cola Company and your friendly neighbor who bottles Coca-Cola presents the national finals of Talentsville, U.S.A. Hi-Fi Club members, ladies and gentlemen, here is your host for the final round of Talentsville, Richard Hayes.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Brother Ed Stokes. We are right now, this minute, deep in the finals of Talentsville, USA. Our 7 judges are considering the 10 acts who have won their way over more than 8,000 other acts through 3 levels of elimination contests held all over the United States and sponsored by bottlers of Coca-Cola to appear in Town Hall right now. There will be 3 equal winners selected, and 3 equal prizes will be presented by the Coca-Cola Company. And if you wonder why there's sort of an expectant hush, well, here's the reason.
To each of the 3 winning acts goes a $5,000 scholarship at any school they select, or they may take the equivalent in cash to further their careers.
3 $5,000 prizes will be awarded in the next hour to these Hi-Fi Club members. And just to bring you all up to date on the rules, here are the conditions.
All entrants had to be in the top 4 grades of high school, be an amateur, not yet a member of any performing craft union, and not under contract to any agent or recording company.
And so, from more than 8,000 acts who started in February, 10 are here for the Grand National Finals. Let me just introduce our judges, and the contest will be underway. And I'll do this alphabetically. That's just to show you that I could spell. Well, first of all, a highly respected newspaper woman and reporter who is educational editor of the Journal American here in New York, as well as a correspondent for Hearst Headline, Miss Atra Bear. Second, a distinguished conductor whose career has brought him to the top of every field of music where he has plied his talents, on the concert stage and radio, on television. His association with the Firestone Hour is just about unequaled for a non-stop run, Mr. Howard Barlow. Another conductor and famous arranger, besides, who is now in business for himself, discovering and encouraging young talent as proprietor of Cadence Records, Mr. Archie Blyer. A well-known author who has also done some singing as a sideline, proprietor of his own TV show, host of the Coca-Cola Company's most recent presentation of Coke Time, and a master of good taste and musicianship, Mr. Pat Boone. Our 5th judge in alphabetical order majors in the recording field, which has become a high art in our musical life. He is a conductor, an arranger, and musical director of United Artists, U.A. Records, Mr. Don Costa. In the field of choral arranging and conducting, one of the most highly respected men is Ray Charles, associated with Perry Como for many, many years, and a recording artist in his own right. He is our 6th judge for Talentsville. And the last member of our panel has produced more outstanding soloists than perhaps any other single man in the recording world. He is the director of pop artists and repertoire for RCA Victor, Mr. Steve Scholes. Talentsville contestants, Hi-Fi Club members, those are the judges. Oh, let me tell you, that is a terrific lineup. I'm kind of glad that they didn't add somebody just to keep score on me. Our musical director is Hal Hastings, who's taking time off from the Pulitzer Prize winner Fiorello to be with us today. And I guess that about takes care of the formalities. Just one other thing, and not just as an afterthought either. I'd like to add a word about Coca-Cola. The word, refreshing. And that's what we hope you'll be remembering during these hot days ahead. To be really refreshed, pause for sparkling, ice-cold Coke. Don't just take my word for it. Put a frosty bottle of Coke in your hand and see for yourself. The Brothers 4, they know the score.
Well, king-size Coke has more for you. King-size Coke has more for you. Biggest value, liveliest lift, refreshes you the very best too. King-size Coca-Cola.
And it's time for the Talentsville Finals, the last round that leads to those 3 grand prizes of $5,000. And as we present each act, we'd like you to meet the man on whose Hi-Fi Club radio program each of these performers took their first bow. Sponsored by the Coca-Cola Bottling Company of Glens Falls, New York, here are Carla and Eric Jensen. And along with Carla and Eric from W.S.A. in Glens Falls is Barry Steiger. Welcome, Barry.
Rich, how are you? Nice day to be in New York.
Well, sure enough is. We're happy to have you here. I hear you've run up quite a phone bill from Glens Falls this week.
Rich, I'm afraid it looks like the national war debt this week. I couldn't be like the rest of the fellows and be here all week. I came in last night. So
just in time for the big banquet over at the Commodore.
Yeah, and it was a very nice banquet, too. In fact, Eric and Carla Jensen have told me that the entire week has been a fabulous blast.
Yeah, and you missed most of it, huh?
Well,
I tell you, that's all right, because when they win, they'll buy you your own gray line bus, air-conditioned yet, and you can tour all over New York, okay?
Okay.
Tell me a little bit about Carla and Eric Jensen.
All right, Rich. Young fellow with the good looks and the crew cut there, a 19-year-old boy with a very unusually high voice. Does a nice job with it. The little gal here who's got the biggest brown eyes I ever saw, her name is Carla.
Okay, Barry Steiger, now that they've reached the finals, let's have you introduce your own candidates just to kind of make them feel at home, okay?
Thanks, Rich. And it's my pleasure, ladies and gentlemen, to present to you 2 of the greatest young people that I think you'll have the pleasure of meeting in a long time. Eric and Carla Jensen, their first song, Maybe Tomorrow.
Carla and Eric Jensen from Glens Falls, New York, candidates for national honors in Talentsville, USA. Next, from Wichita, Kansas, we're meeting the Blue Notes. And along with these 3 young men comes the Hi-Fi Vice President at KLEO Wichita, Mark Allen. Mark, we've been saying hello on and off for about a week, so it's kind of silly to welcome you to New York at this late date.
Well, I guess so, Richard. About all I can say is, does it make me a native New Yorker?
Sure, why not? Welcome to the club.
One further question. What about my Blue Notes?
Well, a week in New York, and they're all citizens. You know, how are you going to keep them in Wichita, Kansas, after they've seen, well, what have they seen? Tell me.
Well, Richard, actually, to cut things short, we have seen so much. The Coca-Cola Bottling Company and the Hi-Fi Club has been such great hosts to us that we've seen everything. And what do you say about New York other than fabulous?
That's a good way of summing it up. Fabulous, and we're so happy that you did enjoy our fair city. But let's get back to the Blue Notes. Let's get the Blue Notes back in their regular background, back in Wichita. You want to fill me in, Mark, please?
Certainly, my pleasure, Richard. Briefly, here's a rundown. Going from left to right, John Seavers, bass. In the center, D. Kent Welch, baritone. And on the far right, as the audience looks at them, tenor, Eugene Cook. Kent Welch and John Seavers are both seniors graduating, and a senior to graduate will be John Cook, or Eugene Cook.
Good, good. They really sound like a real great group. We've been having a real ball with them this entire week here. In fact, everybody's been having a big ball. Mark Allen, it's your act. You finished the introduction for their last performance in the Talentsville finals.
Okay, fine. Thank you very much, Richard. Distinguished judges, ladies and gentlemen, not just me, but from the Coca-Cola Bottling Company, the Hi-Fi Club members, and all of Wichita, Kansas, indeed. Proud to present the Blue Notes and Molly D.
Here we go, round again, singing a song about Molly D. Far away and I know not where. She's a gal who waits for me. I got a gal in Tennessee, sweetest little gal you ever did see. Works all day at a cotton mill, makes her gin in a bathtub still. Here we go, round again, singing a song about Molly D. Far away and I know not where. She's a gal that waits for me. My true love's in Memphis town, pretty little thing named Sally Brown. Travels around on the riverboat, shares her room with a billy goat. Here we go, round again, singing a song about Molly D. Far away and I know not where. She's a gal who waits for me. Spend my money, go and drink it away. I'll start saving another day. Wasting my time in a silver dollar while I pinch them girls just to hear them holler. Here we go, round again, singing a song about Molly D. Far away and I know not where. She's a gal who waits for me.
The Blue Notes from Wichita, Kansas, and maybe I'd better explain one thing. Now, the performances that you're hearing are part of the National Talentsville Finals. Each act has been given up to 8 minutes, split any way that they want to into 2 sections to perform for our judges. 8 minutes times 10 acts, well, you figure it out. It's just too much for one show, so you are hearing the second and final performances before the judging. And our next act is a great little Dixieland combo. The Dads of Dixie from Victoria, Texas, brought to us under sponsorship of the Coca-Cola Bottling Company of Kirat, Texas. And here they come now. And the Dad's Dad, Hi-Fi VP at KVIC. Somebody dropped their watch just then, didn't they? I was going to introduce this gentleman. He is the Hi-Fi VP at KVIC. That kind of rhymes there, Victoria. His name is Jim Van Way, and howdy, Jim.
How you doing, Rich?
And you and the Dads of Dixie have been seeing the sights. Lots of spots you've been going to. I hear you met up with Eddie Condon.
And I'll tell you, it was really great, it was. And he even invited the fellows to sit in one night and play with him.
Boy, that sounds like a wild session. How about some of those restaurants, you know, like that delicious Chinese food over at Shanghai East? Sheila Chang gave chopstick lessons, and everybody was eating up a storm with the sub gum and the foo young and the moo.
And you know what the dads ate?
What's that?
Hamburgers.
Yeah, but with chopsticks, yes. Let me tell you, they were really with it. Jim, suppose you introduce the Dads and their number.
All right, Rich, I might add that the dads had never played together as a combo until the local level of Talentsville and Victoria. They organized their act especially for Talentsville, U.S.A. some 3 short months ago. And the boys on trombone, Virgil Price, John Williams on tuba, Gilbert De Leon on drums, Lyndon Smith on trumpet, and David Lipscomb on clarinet. And speaking of clarinet, the name of the tune is Clarinet Marmalade.
Dixie from Victoria, Texas. I hope when you dropped the cymbal you didn't dent anything, fellas. Well, our next performer on Talentsville, U.S.A. comes to us courtesy of the Coca-Cola Bottling Company of Eugene, Oregon. A young pianist, Donald Addison. And when there's anything to do with the Hi-Fi Club in Eugene, the man in charge is Paul Ryman of KUGN. You and Don win the distance cup, Paul. You're from the farthest away.
Well, Don's father, too, Rich. He came in as a surprise, joining Don's mother and sister just last night.
Oh, my goodness. Well, good for you, Mr. Addison. Lots of luck, and we're so happy that you did find time to join us. Well, now, suppose you tell us a little bit about Don.
In a few words, I would like to say, as a high school junior, he's on his way to be what he wants to be in his more adult years. That is, a composer, conductor, pianist of classical music. He plays clarinet, cello, and piano, and he likes piano better. And since we've been here in New York, he's practiced at Steinway Hall every day, but just one.
Oh, just what happened that day?
Well, we were all going to the preview of Freedom Land, and I wanted to go, and I think Don wanted to go, too. Maybe it was my fault.
Oh, no, I'm with him, Paul. So, Paul, it's Don's turn in the final round of Talentsville, so you do the honors, okay?
All right. As Richard explained, each contestant had 8 minutes for performance, and in the first round today, Don played the Chopin Fantasy Impromptu. That's been sort of his good luck piece right through the contest. For the final round, he has chosen Polichinelle by Rachmaninoff. Donald Addison.
Donald Addison, Talentsville finalist from the Hi-Fi Club in Eugene, Oregon. And right here, well, how about following a good Hi-Fi Club custom? Matter of fact, it's a good idea anytime. Time out for sparkling, ice-cold Coca-Cola. You know, there's nothing like the crisp taste of Coke to make you really refreshed, like right now. I'm the only one in town hall with a frosty bottle of Coca-Cola in my hand. And everybody is jealous, huh? But you out there at home or wherever you are, don't be jealous. Do it yourself. Have a Coke.
Well, king-size Coke has more for you. King-size Coke has more for you. Biggest value, liveliest lift, refreshes you the very best too. King-size Coca-Cola.
Right now, our next contestants are 4 young men brought to us by the Coca-Cola Bottling Company of Bradenton, Florida. Let's meet the Merry Men. And right along with them comes Charlie Shaw of WSPB in Sarasota. Hi there, Charlie.
Hi, Rich. How's everything going up to this point, would you say?
Very fine, very fine. We've been getting the highlights of the week in New York, you know, for the Talentsville contestants. How about you and the Merry Men? What happened?
Well, for the Merry Men, all of the contestants, as a matter of fact, they all had auditions at famous record companies. Maybe this was the thing they wanted to do most, I think, when they came to New York.
Oh, that's an important thing. Any action? I mean, any results, like a contract?
No, not actually, because according to the rules of the contest, no professional contracts can be signed until this contest is finished here in Town Hall.
That sounds logical. And that's where we're heading, right for the finals. So, Charlie, suppose you introduce your contestants.
Thank you, Richard Hayes. Ladies and gentlemen, from Sarasota, Florida, 4 young men, Van Cleveland, Jimmy Reed, Collier Summers, and on guitar, Don Thomas, known as the Merry Men, and with a kind of a fun tune and the Latin beat, a tune called Coplas.
Once in New Mexico, there was a little boy named Juan Diego. That's me. Juan Diego had a lovely little wife, too, see? One day, Juan Diego went to Mexico City, but he picked up these numbers. Daddy Nolly picked them up. Ole! Toque su guitarra, ándale. Cha-cha. Oh, yes. Chile Verde, Mente Vista. Chile Verde, me pare. Bajanos follow the Conalate Cotere. Tell him what it means, kid. You want green peppers? See. I give you green peppers. Step out to the garden. Yeah! Go Plus! Lie, 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 lie. Lie, 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 lie. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Your turn. Tell your parents not to muddy the water around us. Okay. They may have to drink it soon. Oh, no. Go Plus! Lie, 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 lie. Lie, 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 lie. La mula que monte. La monte hoy mi compadre. Eso no me importa. Pues le monte mi primero. Oh, hello, English prisoner. You are surprised I speak your language. You see, I was educated in your country at U.S.A. Applause! Lie, 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 lie. My turn? The noche que mi casé, no dormí mi rato, por horas de la noche, construyendo de un gato. Mas esteve un gato por dentro do balcón, yo no visto gato preto con sombrero y pantalón. On my wedding night, I did not sleep a week. Oh, that's too bad. Yeah, I spent the whole night chasing a cat, which had come over the balcony. Meow. Yeah, wearing a sombrero and long pants. Go Plus! Lie, 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 lie,
The Merrymen from Sarasota, Florida. Yes. Mighty fine, mighty fine. And moving right along here for Talentsville Honors, sponsored by the Coca-Cola Bottling Company of Spartanburg, South Carolina, let's meet Dennis Huey. And with Dennis all the way is Rick Rogers of WTHE. Rick, how has New York been to you?
Well, it's been just fine, Richard. Except, well, it could have rained every day, I guess.
Well, let me see. It was only one really bad day. Oh, maybe a day and a half, huh?
Yeah. The day we went to Coney Island.
Yeah. It's coming down pretty good. Let's see. It was raining all the way
Yeah,
there.
actually, it was a deluge until we got on the subway and we rode out and we arrived at Steeplechase Park. And when we got there, the sun was shining and it was fine.
And everything was right with the world. You know, Coney Island is really another world. It's not of this planet. What do you think was the most scary ride?
The subway.
Oh, yes. Another New Yorker, huh, Rick? Well, tell me about Dennis Huey.
Dennis is 18 years old, and he's been singing since he was about 4. Oh, by the way, he just graduated from Chesney High School with A's and B's.
That's very good. Wonderful.
And back to the singing, he started at 4, standing by the piano while his mother played religious songs in a small country church. And after about 4 years of that, he picked up the ukulele, and then he learned how to play the guitar, and, well, now he can play the guitar, and he can sing everything from pop ballads, rock and roll to spirituals.
Yeah, he sounds like quite a guy. Okay, Rick, we've got the facts. How about a formal introduction for the last round of Talentsville?
Thank you very much, Richard Hayes. And ladies and gentlemen, everybody, I think, has what they call a lucky song that they do, or a lucky number. And this one is in keeping. Dennis has a religious background, and so he's going to sing a song that he picked himself from a church hymnal. And we sincerely hope that somewhere out there, someone is really going to hear this song. Dennis Ray Huey sings, "God Put a Rainbow in the Cloud."
When God shut Noah in the grand old ark, hallelujah. God put a rainbow in the cloud when the thunders rolled and the sky was dark. God put a rainbow in the cloud. God put a rainbow in the cloud. God put a rainbow in the cloud. When it looked like the sun wouldn't shine anymore, God put a rainbow in the cloud, in the cloud, in the cloud, in the cloud, in the cloud. Oh, Jordan deep and Jordan wide, hallelujah. God put a rainbow in the cloud to lead his people to the other side. God put a rainbow in the cloud. God put a rainbow in the cloud. God put a rainbow in the cloud. When it looked like the sun wouldn't shine anymore, God put a rainbow in the cloud, in the cloud, in the cloud, in the cloud, in the cloud. God put a rainbow in the cloud.
Dennis Huey of Spartanburg, South Carolina. And Talentsville picked a special trio of very pretty young ladies as the candidates from the Twin Cities Hi-Fi Club in Minneapolis and St. Paul, brought to us by the Minnesota Coca-Cola Bottling Company. It's the Debutantes. And with the three debutantes, we'd like you to meet Bill Deal of WDGY.
Well, hello there, Richard Hayes.
So tell me, are you having any fun, Bill?
Well, you know, I'm almost too excited to tell.
Oh, come on now.
Well, I'm going to tell you something. I've auditioned for station managers with bifocals who rush in and say, imagine there's just been an earthquake and a tornado, and ad lib. I've been in some pretty rough spots, but I'm going to tell you right now, this one really takes the prize.
Yeah, well, but you must have been having some fun all week long.
Oh, sure. I've been having a ball, you know, with those little Mohawk recorders that they gave us to record interviews wherever we went. Well, I got interviews all over the place, in the bus and everywhere.
Well, how about the debutantes? How are they holding up?
A lot better than I am, I'll tell you.
Well, Bill, suppose you fill us in on the details.
Well, all righty. Let's go down to the far end of our line, and there we'll meet Miss Bonnie Herman, one of our singing debutantes from the Twin Cities. Bonnie comes from Mendota Heights, which is a suburb of St. Paul, and it snuggles right up against West St. Paul, where our other two girls are from. Bonnie is going to be 16 in August. And next to her we have Sharon Carnes, who is from West St. Paul, and a big thrill for Sharon. She was 16 the day that we took off from the Twin Cities for New York. And on this end, we have Karen Stephenson, who's also 16, and she's from West St. Paul. All of the girls are members of their high school band, and they sing in their school choir and their church choirs. And now we give you, from the Twin Cities chapter of the Hi-Fi Club, the debutantes singing Something's Gotta Give and May You Always.
When an irresistible force such as you meets an old immovable object like me, you can bet as sure as we live, something's gotta give, something's gotta give, something's gotta give. When an irrepressible smile such as yours warms an old implacable heart such as mine, don't say no because I insist. Somewhere, somehow, someone's gonna be kissed. So on guard, who knows what the fates have in store from their vast, mysterious sky. I'll try hard, ignoring those lips I adore, but how long can anyone try? Fight, fight, fight with all of our might. Chances are some heavenly star-spangled night we'll find out as sure as we live. Something gotta give, something gotta give, something gotta give. Something gotta give, something gotta give, something gotta give. Give. May you always walk in sunshine, slumber warm when night winds blow. May you always live with laughter, for a smile becomes you so. May good fortune find your doorway. May the bluebird sing your song. May no trouble travel your way. May no worry stay too long. May your heartaches be forgotten. May no tears be spilled. May old acquaintance be remembered, and your cup of kindness filled. And may
The Debutantes from the Twin Cities Hi-Fi Club in Minneapolis and St. Paul. And our next hi-fi candidate for the Talentsville Finals is another young pianist, sponsored by the Utica, New York Coca-Cola Bottling Company. Meet Mr. John Kirat. And joining John Kirat is Jack Murphy from WRUN in Utica. Welcome, Jack.
Thank you, Richard. If I may, I'd like to take the initiative.
Sure, Jack, go right ahead.
I just wanted to say what a great thing that I think this Talentsville is, and give credit where it's due to the Coca-Cola Company and its bottlers all across the country.
Well, you didn't think I was going to say no now, did you?
No.
But I think it goes the other way, too. I've been talking to Don Ickes and Dave Lord, who worked all year to make this whole thing happen, and they want all the music men on the Hi-Fi Club stations to know that a lot of the credit belongs to them. Really, I'm serious.
And so am I.
Hey, maybe that's our trouble, Jack. Maybe we were just a bit too serious, because this whole thing has been a lot of fun, too.
Right. And so whoever made it work, we thank you.
Yes, indeed. And a great big piece of that goes to the contestants, all 8,000 acts of them. Well, how about telling us about the one that you're most interested in right now, John Kirat?
Thank you, Rich, I will. The representative from the Utica-Rome area, the Coca-Cola Bottling Company in that city in upstate New York, is delighted to bring to you a 17-year-old concert pianist who graduates from high school this month, John Kirat. This is the biggest thrill of his life, playing the piano here in Town Hall. And this afternoon he'll play for his second number, Malagueña.
John Kirat from Utica, New York. Right now, I'd like to describe a little scene here. And that's if I may. We got a whole cooler full of frosty bottles of Coca-Cola backstage right here at Town Hall, and it just seems to work without fail. As I walk into the wings with each hi-fi VP, you know, while this home act is working out here, we listen pretty carefully, and then when it's all over, yeah, he heads for an ice-cold Coke. So maybe you've got nothing on your mind but driving your car on over the next hill. Well, then let me tell you that ice-cold Coca-Cola is great anytime. Pause for Coke and be really refreshed.
Well, king-size Coke has more for you. King-size Coke has more for you. Biggest value, liveliest lip, refreshes you the very best too. Get king-size Coca-Cola.
And our next contestant for Talentsville comes to us courtesy of the Coca-Cola Bottling Company, Harrisburg, Illinois, a most charming young lady. Her name, Lorna Dallas. And here's Miss Dallas's escort for right now. The rest of the time, he's in charge of the Hi-Fi Club on WEBQ, Greek Goodwin. And in the whole week in New York here, we didn't get you to a Greek restaurant once. Unless you count Nathan's, you know, that's that Frankfurter Palace out in Coney Island is one. They got Greek mustard or something out there.
Well, don't worry, Rich. I had a hamburger, too, I must confess.
Well, how about Miss Dallas? What particular kind of food did Lorna like?
Well, Lorna usually finds it's better that she doesn't eat before she sings.
Oh, boy, and there were so many auditions and rehearsals and all that, she hardly got to eat at all. Well, there's always tomorrow. That'll still be there. Greek, suppose you give us the fill-in on Lorna and what she's going to sing.
Okay, Rich, thank you very much. Lorna is 18 years old, a May Honors graduate from Carrier Mills Community High School. Lorna really is from Carrier Mills. It's a fine town 7 miles south of Harrisburg, which is another fine town, in the southern half of the superfine state of Illinois. I first heard Lorna sing at my wedding, got her to be a student rep in the Hi-Fi Club. She went on then to win first prize for recruiting 400 members. Distinguished judges, ladies and gentlemen, Southern Illinois is proud to present Lorna Jane Dallas, Love Is Where You Find It.
Don't be blind, it's all around you everywhere. Take a chance now, for romance now. Tell someone that you can. Spring love comes upon you, when it's gone and you feel despair. Sooner though in the moon glow, you'll find that a new love is there. Love is where you find it, fate's designed it to be waiting everywhere. It may hide from you for a while, it may come tonight in a smile. Find the flame of a new love in the arms of a true love.
that you can. Love is where you find it, don't be blind, it's all around you.
Lorna Dallas from Harrisburg, Illinois. And my friends, we're getting mighty close. Just one more act to do their bit as Talentsville finalists. 4 hi-fi clubbers from Roswell, New Mexico, sponsored by the Coca-Cola Bottling Company of Pecos Valley. Let's meet the Roadrunners. And the 5th Roadrunner and music man in charge of Hi-Fi at KBIM in Roswell is Don Delgado. Hi there, Don.
Hello, Rich. How are you? Glad to see you.
Nice meeting you. Come
we
on.
look alike.
How about that? We
Maybe
certainly
you can put
do.
in a plug for me or something, huh?
Sure, we both got our red jackets on today. Tell us about you in New York. Have you been getting along together all right?
I guess pretty good, Rich, but I'm afraid they might not let me come back.
Oh? Well, I don't know whether to ask the next question or not. What happened?
Well, actually, the first day I was here, I didn't tip the cab driver.
You didn't tip a cab driver?
No, I didn't, Rich.
Well, what did he say?
Well, that's the question you shouldn't ask.
Oh,
That's
right,
the idea.
right you are. No, I won't do that. But if you didn't tip a cab driver and they let you survive the rest of the week, well, you're way ahead. Maybe instead you ought to tell me about the Roadrunners and Roswell. How did these 4 fellas get together?
Well, actually, Rich, I think you might call it they were sort of drafted into the thing.
Well, I know that feeling.
In other words, they held tryouts in the school, and they picked Steve, Harold, and Rennie and Ed and said, okay, fellas, you're a barbershop quartet.
Very
Just
good,
like that.
very good. They kind of represent the school,
That's
huh?
right, at various functions, and it's sort of a tradition to hear these fellas sing.
So this year, Talentsville put a new twist on it. Don,
Right.
suppose you finish out the story and introduce their performance in Talentsville, USA.
Rich,
huh?
thank you very much. Mighty proud, certainly grateful to all the wonderful folks in Roswell, New Mexico who have made this thing possible. Speaking for the Roadrunners, our appreciation to our local bottler, Mr. Johns, and his lovely wife, Mrs. Johns, and certainly all the folks who are watching these fellows very closely. So here they are. On this side, we have Rennie Scarborough. Rennie is 17 years old. Right next to him, Mr. Edwin Hewlett, who is 19. He's the eldest of the group. And then we have Harold Reeves, who is also 17. And then the little old baby over here, who's only 15, Steve Wolf. So here they are. We're mighty proud of them. The Roadrunners singing Old and Dinah.
Old and Dinah done promised me
Waiting for it all.
when she dies, she gonna set me free. I'm gonna hold that woodpile down. There was a little frog and he sat on a log.
Sing song, kitty, won't you carry me home?
I hope you choke, you son of a gun.
Sing song, kitty, won't you carry me home? E-shaw, ain't gonna gay, shaw, ain't gonna gay. E-my-hi, oh back, hit him with a boot jack. Sing song, kitty, won't you carry me home?
Mary had a little lamb.
Sing song, kitty, won't you carry me home?
And everywhere that Mary went,
the lamb would go with Mary. E-shaw, ain't gonna gay, shaw, ain't gonna gay. E-my-hi, hold back, hit him with a boot jack. Sing song, kitty, won't you carry me home?
Now the good book says that Cain killed Abel.
Yes, good Lord.
he hit him on the head with a leg of a table.
Yes, good Lord.
Well, he
hit him on the head with a table leg. I believe to my soul that it killed him dead.
And the
Last words I heard, old Abel
Somebody shout, brother.
I'll be ready. Yes, I'll be ready. I'll be ready when the great day comes.
Oh, Lordy, how the moon do shine down on the doggone dogs of mine.
And there you have the Roadrunners from Roswell, New Mexico. Number 10 and the final contestants in this final round of the finals of Talentsville, USA. And right now, well, now it's up to our judges to pick 3 winners, each act to receive a $5,000 scholarship or cash equivalent and a guaranteed record release. Our judges are Miss Attrabert, Howard Barlow, Archie Blyer, Pat Boone, Don Costa, Ray Charles, and Steve Scholes. And here is what we're going to do. We want the judges to have all the time that they want to make this important decision. And since this show is being specially transcribed, we can take a little intermission, stop recording while the judges do their judging, and still not have to worry about the time. So we'll just take a little time here and leave you. And when we come back and start recording again, we'll have the final word, the big decision, and the 3 grand winners of Talentsville, USA. So don't go away. Ladies and gentlemen, we're back recording again. The judges were out for almost a half hour, but they just got back in now, and Pat Boone has come on stage with the decision. Okay, Patrick, we're waiting with breathless anticipation.
Thank you, Richard. I don't want to prolong the agony, but the judges have asked me to say that this was a very difficult decision to make, and that to all 10 of these young soloists and groups, our heartiest congratulations and encouragement. I don't know why they picked me to make this announcement, maybe because I've lost more contests than any of them ever entered. This is a contest, though, and there has to be a decision, and we managed to come to one. So the names of the 3 winners are the Merrymen from Sarasota, Florida. From Eugene, Oregon, Donald Addison. And from Harrisburg, Illinois, Lorna Dallas.
Well, there, my friends, there you have it, our 3 winners. By golly, let me tell you, I am just as excited as anybody. Things are just a little bit excited here on stage in Town Hall right now. Hey, if we can get some of the winners over to the microphone. Pat, can you get some of them over there? There were the Merrymen, Donald Addison, Lorna Dallas. The Merrymen first, fellas. How do you feel about this whole thing, huh? Yeah, well said, well said. Donald Addison, get in the middle there. How about you, huh? You've been practicing all the time you were here.
Speechless.
Yeah, congratulations to you. Last but definitely not least, the lovely Lorna Dallas. Lorna, how do you feel, huh?
I feel wonderful.
Yeah, there they are, my friends, the 3 winners. And now, it's official, but it's not over yet. I'd like to present the gentleman who will make the 3 $5,000 awards. Vice President of the Coca-Cola Company, Mr. Charles Adams.
Thank you very much. Weren't they all great? And aren't you glad that you didn't have to pick the 3 winners? I predict, and I'm sure all of you agree with me, that we're going to hear a lot from all of these contestants in the future. All I'd like to say is that I believe I'm more excited even than the contestants are. And I'd also like to say thanks to all of these wonderful contestants. And thanks to the more than 8,000 acts all over the country who have made Talentsville a real success. And also a special thanks to all teenagers everywhere, from the Coca-Cola Company and the Coca-Cola bottlers.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Adams.
At the national finals of Talentsville, U.S.A., America's largest teenage talent search. Richard Hayes has been your host. Musical director for Talentsville is Hal Hastings. This program was recorded in Town Hall and edited to comply with time requirements. This is Ed Stokes speaking on behalf of the Coca-Cola Company of Atlanta, Georgia, and your friendly neighbor who bottles Coca-Cola. Goodbye.